Welcome back to Voice of Africa, your trusted platform for real, unfiltered news and analysis from across the African continent. We're thrilled to bring you today's powerful update, a report that could mark a historic shift in the fight against terrorism in West Africa. This is a story of courage, precision, and a nation's unwavering will to defend its people. We invite you to stay with us until the end, because what's happening in Burkina Faso right now could very well redefine the future of the entire Sahel region. Before we begin, a brief but important disclaimer. The content of this video is based on credible, publicly available information, official government statements, and reliable open-source intelligence. It is presented solely for educational, analytical, and informational purposes. Voice of Africa does not support or promote violence, political unrest, hate, or misinformation. Our mission is to provide balanced, context-rich insight into African affairs, amplify local perspectives, and promote informed dialogue for peace, understanding, and progress across the continent. Now, to the heart of the matter. On May 11, 2025, the northern town of Djibo in Burkina Faso became the epicenter of a major confrontation between the forces of good and a ruthless insurgency. What started as a large-scale, coordinated assault by extremist groups ended in one of the most decisive military victories in Burkina Faso's recent history. Reports confirm that over 900 insurgents, yes, over 900, were neutralized by the Burkinabe armed forces in a single counteroffensive. The attackers were reportedly members of Jama'at Nasr al-Islam wal-Muslimin, JNIM, an al-Qaeda-linked terrorist organization responsible for a string of brutal attacks across the Sahel. Their objective was clear: to destabilize the region further by taking over Djibo, a strategic town that had already suffered multiple assaults in the past. Equipped with motorcycles and pickup trucks, they attempted to overwhelm military camps, police stations, and gendarmerie outposts in a calculated multi-pronged attack. Initially, the reports were grim. The main military camp in Djibo was said to have been overrun and looted. But then came the counteroffensive, swift, strategic, and surgical. Led by Captain Ibrahim Traoré, the Burkinabe armed forces launched a massive military operation that would change the narrative. What made this response different wasn't just its scale, but the technology and strategy behind it. The operation featured high-tech warfare equipment, including Bayraktar TB2 drones from China and Russian-supplied aircraft, which allowed the military to conduct precise aerial strikes on insurgent strongholds. Let's take a moment to appreciate the scope of what this operation achieved. According to Burkina Faso's official information agency, more than 400 militants were neutralized in the initial wave. But further intelligence, supported by aerial reconnaissance and real-time drone footage, suggested that the final number exceeded 900, making this one of the largest anti-terror victories ever recorded in West Africa. These weren't random strikes. Each unit, infantry, drone operators, reconnaissance teams, was deployed with specific objectives. More than 500 insurgents were identified moving in convoys of pickup trucks, with another 200 on motorcycles, gathering under trees in the Sahel. Once confirmed, the military executed targeted airstrikes that effectively dismantled their formations and destroyed their weaponry. Captain Traoré later called the attack on Djibo unprecedented. He praised the bravery and determination of the armed forces and reminded the nation that this fight is far from over. His message was clear: crimes against civilians will never go unpunished. And with this operation, Burkina Faso has sent a resounding message to all those who seek to destabilize the country: you will not succeed. Now, a quick but heartfelt moment to thank every single member and subscriber of Voice of Africa. Your support makes it possible for us to continue sharing these vital stories with the world. If you find value in our content, please consider showing your support through the Super Thanks feature. Every contribution helps us amplify African voices and shine a light on the truths that matter most. Thank you for standing with us. Back to the story. What does this mean not just for Burkina Faso, but for the entire Sahel region and West Africa as a whole? Domestically, this operation has reignited hope. The successful deployment of drones and other modern military technology shows that Burkina Faso is not only capable of defending itself, but is also evolving in how it confronts threats. This victory has bolstered public confidence in the government's capacity to protect its people and defend national sovereignty. But it's not all celebration. Analysts are quick to remind us that one military success, no matter how significant, does not end a war. Terrorist insurgencies thrive in environments plagued by political instability, poverty, and social marginalization. Until these root causes are addressed, the risk of resurgence remains high. Burkina Faso, and indeed the broader Sahel, will need to complement military victories with robust governance, development, and reconciliation efforts. Additionally, there are concerns about sustainability. Much of the success in Djibo came from the use of foreign military technology and training. While these tools were undeniably effective, they raise a critical question. Can Burkina Faso continue to depend on external sources for long-term security? The country must now consider how to build domestic capacity in surveillance, defense technology, and intelligence gathering to maintain its independence. Internationally, the reaction has been cautiously optimistic. Observers across Africa and abroad have recognized the strategic brilliance of the operation, describing it as a potential model for counterinsurgency efforts in other conflict zones such as Mali, Niger, and even parts of Nigeria. But again, the emphasis is on balance. Military action must go hand in hand with social, economic, and political reforms. Then there's the issue of human rights. With any large-scale military operation, especially in conflict-prone areas, there is always the risk of collateral damage. It is vital that Burkina Faso ensures transparency, accountability, and strict adherence to international humanitarian law. Winning the war must not come at the cost of losing the moral high ground. Still, no matter the complexities, one thing is certain. Burkina Faso is not backing down. This victory has the potential to inspire and unite, not just the Burkinabe people, but all Africans committed to the idea of a secure, self-determined continent. It's a reminder that African nations are not helpless victims in the face of terrorism. They are resilient, strategic, and, when necessary, unyielding. We must also acknowledge the symbolism of Djibo. For years, this town has been on the front line of Burkina Faso's war against terror. It has seen tragedy, displacement, and fear. But with this victory, it also becomes a symbol of resistance, strength, and hope. As we close today's update, we leave you with a question. Is this the turning point we've been waiting for? Could this operation in Djibo be the beginning of a new chapter, not only for Burkina Faso, but for the entire Sahel region? Or is it simply a temporary setback for groups that will adapt, reorganize, and return? We invite you to share your thoughts in the comments. Let's have a real conversation about what this means for Africa's security landscape. Are military victories enough? Or is it time for a more comprehensive, community-driven approach to peace? If you found today's video insightful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Voice of Africa. Your engagement is what keeps this platform alive. It's what helps us bring these powerful stories to a global audience. And once again, if you'd like to support us directly, feel free to hit the Super Thanks button. It means more than you know. Until next time, stay safe, stay informed, and keep believing in the power of African voices. This is Voice of Africa, and we're just getting started.